What's good, guys? Just Prince TV here. So, people are now, Jadakiss went to private school. Holy shit, his street cred is being questionable. See, these dudes ain't really about that. Jadakiss is the same dude that growed up in Yonkers. He growed up around the projects, around where DMX lives. All right? Something I need to tell you guys about New York City. Those of you that's not from New York, you wouldn't understand this. All right? We move different in New York. We're the birthplace of hip hop, but also you have to understand something about New York culture. A lot of people go to private school in New York. All right? My cousin went to private school, but he was in and out of jail. He did a lot of street shit. Okay? That don't mean nothing when you're in the streets. The streets don't care if you went to a super private school. Okay? They don't care if you Muslim, they don't care anything. The minute you leave that school and you on a block and you exposed to the elements that's on the streets, that's it. Okay? I had run-ins with dudes that was from private school. Dudes from private school jump people. All right? Some of the most biggest notorious gangsters from New York went to private school. All right? Private school in New York is just same thing as public school. Only difference is you just wear a uniform. Okay? All right? Now, you can make a case if the education system is a little bit better, whatever. Right? But in New York, they still just there for $1 anyway, no matter what school it is. But to question Jadakiss street cred, you must don't know New York a little bit, you know. Jada told you himself that he had schooling and stuff like that. You know, the Locks themselves told you they graduated from high school. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean they're not street because they graduated from high school. Plenty of dudes did a lot of street activity and still went to school. You know, you went to school, you showed off in front of the girls, you had your little shit on, your chain, whatever. Don't mean nothing, man. You know, and when it comes to being from the hood, you are a product of your environment. That's why we always say that. But once you're in the house, your parents set the rules in the house. The streets don't take place in the house, right? My grandmother lived on 106th Street in Corona, Queens. Used to live. Before you step in her house, she would tell you, wipe your feet before you step in my house, right? Leave that street shit outside. All right? So when you step into my grandmother's house, that was Switzerland. None of that street shit took place. All right? But once you leave and you go back to the elements of Queens, New York, whether it's in Southside, Jamaica, Corona, Queensbridge, whatever, Far Rock, that's the streets. They don't care what you went to. All they know is, okay, that dude robbed me last week. Doesn't matter if he went to private school or not. You know, he rolling with such and such. He exposed to the elements. It is what it is. The Locks is 100% street. They always have been, okay? Their street cred will never be questioned by real New Yorkers. And real street cats should know that your status of whether you went to school or not is irrelevant. Because everywhere starts, we all come from humble beginnings until they're not humble beginnings, okay? No, Jadakiss was lucky to have two parents in the household, but as you can see, sometimes even with two parents in the household, that still don't stop you from doing street shit. It still don't stop you from doing things and getting exposed to the elements, right? Now, what I say makes more sense. If you're raised with two parents, you do have the likelihood of coming out better, right? Doesn't always mean it's going to be the case, but you have the likelihood of coming out better. And Jadakiss got 3 generations of his family that did that interview, okay? So he is doing something right. He's using his head. He's being smart. But the kid is street smart. He's book smart. I mean, Jada's one of the best to ever do it. So we're not going to question Jada's street credibility. You know, YO, stand up. You know, it's just how it is in New York, man. A lot of gangsters go to private school. It's not a big deal. Doesn't mean you're not street. I don't know where that come from. I guess y'all been watching too much of that 8 Mile nonsense, you know what I mean? or Bunny and Rabbit or whatever the hell that is. Your mother had Papa Doc was from private school. Y'all say he wasn't from the hood. Whatever, man. If you on a block, you on a block. It's as simple as that. All right. And Jadakiss growed up in the hood. A lot of people growed up in the projects, went to private school, but they still did crazy shit while they was in the projects. Enough said. I'm out. Peace.